Yo.
Good morning, sir.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going well. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
How many times a day do you look at your metrics?
I'm embarrassed to say. I have a tab open almost persistently. I think it's a good thing that...
So one. Just once.
Yeah, right. Yeah, does it count as once if it's just like visible at all times?
Yeah. You open the tab once per whatever.
Right.
And that's it.
Right. I think it's good that like ProfitWell has a little bit of lag. Like it's not totally real time. I have an activity feed in Slack that is like it's a muted channel, but I can pop in there and just see a stream of signups and conversions and all the different events that happen around customer stuff. So I will sometimes see, I'll pop in there and just see if there's like a spike happening and like kind of peruse through the where did you hear about us sources to see if we're like getting traffic from somewhere that I'm not aware of. But a lot of times the conversions that show up in there don't reflect immediately in ProfitWell, which is probably a good thing. Like, so I'm not, not always getting up to the minute metrics. Kind of forces me to try not to look at it as often, I guess.
Yeah.
What about you?
I have a lot.
Yeah.
It's like a I'm bored kind of tick almost.
Yep.
It's not great. And so it's like, oh, it went up a little bit. Oh, it went down a little bit. Oh, it went up a little bit. Oh, someone added a seat. Someone removed a seat. It's just like this the activity feed is full of, stuff happening all day long. And it's addicting. It
is. And I wonder, is it healthy to be looking at that? Like, is it reinforcing negative? Like, I guess for me, I've noticed that, obviously when things trend down on the micro scale, I take my mood sometimes takes a small hit, which I don't like, but then it also works in the opposite direction where I get like a little boost from something going up. So
yes, we mostly trend up most of the time. So it's usually good news when I jump in there. I'm like, ooh, look at that. And that's fun. I check it way less when it's not good. Like if we have like a big customer cancel or something, and it's like this is like just ugly drop on the graph. Like I'll go a few days and just like I don't want to look at it.
I'm not looking again until things recover.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll come back when you have better news for me. Metrics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I disabled the daily summary, so now I only get a weekly summary. But I'm checking it so often that it's like it's whatever. But it's not useful. I'm like gazing at a thing that like doesn't really tell me much. Like I'm every once in a while I'll go, oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that company was a customer or something. And that's kind of neat. But yeah, it's not a good use of time.
No, I agree.
Anyway, that last episode was good. I liked it.
Yeah, it elicited a lot of reactions from people, which is kind of what we were wanting, I think. Yeah, I really enjoyed recording it. It was a good session.
Yeah, it was solid. Got a lot of feedback from people, or a decent amount of feedback. Got some emails and DMs and things, which is nice. I think that format, something about that worked well, where like you and I were like just co-working on a project. I think that was really useful. Like that's like a good format, it feels like.
I agree. We give each other, brainstorming sessions here from time to time, but it'd be fun to do that a little bit more deliberately, I think,
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could add that to the format roadmap. It's like come with a like challenge or thing to be shaped. Because we actually had a thing to focus on that was like a task we were doing, I felt like I was like less podcasting and more just like working with you. And I feel like that made for good radio. Like trying to make a good podcast sometimes I think maybe doesn't make the best podcast.
Agreed. Yeah.
So that was interesting.
I think we both kind of forgot we were on the mics by the end of it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a cool thing to try. Try a little more of that.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's pretty clear that people don't want intro music. I hear you. You.
Did you get slapped down?
just different remarks here and there. Sort of indicates, I think our cold open is probably serving that purpose, the thing I described of like, you hear that thing and it flips your mind into the mode of like, all right, I'm ready to listen to this particular show. I think our cold open serves that purpose. So yeah, maybe no intro music.
You don't realize that you're committing to things for the lifetime of a project.
Right. Yeah.
Because people are going to get used to them. I mean, we could add intro music and like people would get over it.
True.
Like,
yep.
I think there's always going to be that like, no, don't change it bias.
Yes.
Unless you're really screwing up.
Yep. But it does feel like we've poured a little bit of concrete there just by not having intro music for 195 episodes.
Jesus. 195?
Yeah. This is 195 today.
That's 195 weeks.
I know.
Wow.
How many
That's
things
crazy.
in your life have you done for that many weeks in a row?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's crazy.
It's fun though. I feel like that's the thing about podcasting. That's like is that I don't mind doing it.
Yeah, agreed.
There's a lot of like content production-y things that if you were like, oh, you should do this every week, I'd be like, oh my God, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like it would be a chore. But doesn't never felt like a chore to me.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't have the same like writing an article. You go through that phase of like agony and like, oh my gosh, I'm wrestling with this thing, and then I have to edit it, and it's just it sucks a lot out of you. I think this doesn't suck nearly as much energy out.
Totally, yeah. And it's a pretty different product where it's like these are just like kind of unformed, off the cuff opinions. Where a written thing would the hard part, the agony would be from distilling it and like really thinking through it. Whereas we're just shooting from the hip every week.
That's all we do here. Shoot from
that's all we do. That's how we shoot.
Yep.
Art of hip shooting.
But it's pretty cool that thousands of people tune in every week and would be like very sad if we stopped doing this. That's pretty trippy, you know?
They'd be a little sad. They'd get over it.
That's true. Sad for a week, at least.
Sure. Yeah. They would sometimes think about it and go, oh yeah, I remember that. That was good.
Yep.
But yeah, it is cool.
Yeah.
6,000 people. I want to see a visual representation of 6,000 people and be like, this is what the audience is looking like. This is who you're talking to.
We could like sell out a small theater, probably, you know? Like there's some small theaters here in Minneapolis that probably hold about 6,000 people comfortably.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
You saying you want to do a live podcast tour?
Let's do it live.
Across
do a
the
road
country,
show. Yep.
Across the world.
Yep. Art of Product Worldwide Tour.
That'd be a great way to podcast in front of like 12 people.
Yeah. Because I have a feeling we're extremely geographically distributed. So in any given locale, there's like probably 2 listeners, you know?
I wonder. Comment in the chat where you are right now.
Yeah.
We need live chat. We should try that live thing just for the lulz.
I agree. Yeah.
It could be interesting. I hopped into a Twitter space hosted by our buddy Rob Walling.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh yeah, this is a thing.
Was it the personal finance one?
No, although I wish I had been around for that one. It was the announcing the syndicates thing.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Did you listen to the personal finance one?
I went in like halfway through. It was pretty fun. Like I've talked to Rob a lot about personal finance stuff. So he was talking about like his thoughts around, buying a house and whether it makes sense to own, your personal residence versus renting. And they talked about investing and, allocating assets. And so it was fun to hear 2 smart people who have clearly thought a lot about this stuff kind of workshop that, I really like that format. I was listening to it, I was like, this is a really good use of Twitter Spaces, and maybe we can do some art of producty stuff on there. Give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seems like a topic-based live chat would do better than just the come hang out with us as we chat.
Yeah, I agree.
Like just knowing, it's easier to sell it basically and easier to structure the conversation.
Yeah, because it was pretty free-flowing. I think they had a couple of high-level areas that they wanted to touch on, but it was mostly just a conversation. It wasn't like an interview so much as a conversation, which I think made it feel very good,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying this app called Cron.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've heard of them.
I like it.
It's like a calendar client. Yeah.
Yeah. Calendar client runs in Mac OS. It's a menu bar app, or it's among other things, it has a menu bar app, which I'm very bullish on and tend to really enjoy. It's great. I've been using SavvyCal, which is, the same thing, and just not loving it. Unfortunately, I like that company and I wanted to love the software, and I just kept feeling like, I just don't like this much. And Cron so far has been kind of awesome.
If I recall, they're sort of trying to be like the superhuman of calendars, right?
Yeah, definitely superhuman-y vibes.
It's keyboard shortcuts and stuff like that.
Yep. But like this like little menu bar app they had, I really like it because like right now it says record AOP 40 minutes left. So like they've actually like they put text in the menu bar.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Kind of like your date, the time and date in the right corner, similar look to that. Before an event, it will say record AOP in 12 minutes. I don't need to click anything to see what my next event is or how long my current event is, which is really cool. And if I click it, then I get like the next few days of events laid out in front of me, which is cool. It's like because most of the time you care about what's coming up immediately or happening now, or then maybe the next day or two. So you don't even need to open the full window of like show me the month view or something.
Right. That's what I use my Apple Watch for primarily, is just to see the next thing up on my calendar. So I can always just glance at my wrist and see like, okay, I'm free until whatever, 3 o'clock.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's like the killer app for me, which is kind of funny because it's like kind of a dumb thing, but it's kind of big. I don't just having
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that little menu bar app just telling me when the next thing is has really sold me actually. Because that's always the question. It's like, how much time do I have? When's the next thing?
Right.
What time is it?
Right. Helps you control the cadence of your day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And like SavvyCal, it's like I have to click the thing to view it, and then it shows me like your next event is at 2 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, what time is it? Oh, it's 1:13. Whereas Cron is just like, here is exactly how many minutes you have until the thing without clicking anything.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
I want to build a SavvyCal menu bar app.
Oh, yes. Tell me more.
Yeah. Well, I think I hear this all the time. Like, a lot of times people don't need to go into the SavvyCal interface, especially if they kind of have their links already dialed in. They have their set ones that they like to share all the time. And so, I think browser extensions makes a ton of sense, but also just, a menu bar where you can just like see a list of your links, click to copy them at a minimum, copy to clipboard. That could be interesting. There's also different form factors for this, though. Actually, Steven, your chief of staff, shared a little script. He built like a Raycast integration, which I am just getting exposed to this tool.
Yes, I gotta try this.
And it was crazy. Like, he showed me a little demo of it and then shared the code with me. And I haven't dug into it quite yet, but it's like pretty powerful. And he was able to do a lot. I think just hitting my API. That's always fun to see someone build something with the primitives that you give them,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We also had a user build out a Tuple flow or a Tuple extension for Raycast.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, that app looks great. I love seeing these like Cron and that app, and then like these like paid terminals like Warp and things like that. I love seeing people come along and just like try to make really good versions of apps that everyone's using.
Yeah.
And like I saw someone phrase this as like coming along and like 10xing something that like Mac OS gives you for free. I'm all about that. I think I could do that for like kind of a long time. Like if I swapped away from Tuple, it'd be like, oh yeah, I just want to make another like better version of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's sometimes a little bit of stigma around that. Like maybe people in the entrepreneur space don't necessarily feel like you're innovating, like building a better mousetrap or whatever. But I think there's a lot to be said for just kind of stepping up the status quo on things that already exist. It's kind of what I'm doing in SavvyCal, and it's fun, honestly. Like thinking about a problem space that's already been solved in multiple iterations, but like clearly it's not. The incumbents are not solving it, I don't think, in the best possible way. So it's fun to just chew on a problem space like that and just think about how can we make this even better.
And there is no best. Like some people will prefer their way, and some people will prefer your way. So it's like even if you just have a different take on the way, it should all work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
Love seeing good new software.
Me too.
Yeah. So you mentioned my chief of staff.
Yes.
Have I talked about that on the podcast yet?
I don't think so. I think we talked about it offline, and then I saw he's sporting the label in his bio, so I figured it was public to talk about to mention.
Totally. Yeah. So I originally tweeted out like, I think I want to hire a chief of staff. They might like have these responsibilities, like DM me or email me. And Steven wrote me this great email. And at the time I was thinking like, I would love this chief of staff person to be in person and like work with me in person. And so I was like, I don't think I want to do a remote chief of staff, but I'm actually been looking for a head of sales, and you've done a lot of success work, and a lot of the sales work at Tuple is kind of process oriented. Like, it's sort of less traditional sales and more sort of management of incoming leads. Basically pitched him on doing that, and he agreed. And he's been doing a great job at that. But as I was laying out my plans for 2022, it felt more and more clear to me that like I actually need someone to complement my skill set. So like pretty decent at some of the high level strategy stuff or product stuff, or being good about pushing things out the door or that sort of thing. But when it comes to like dotting the I's, making sure everything is communicated well, thinking of all the ramifications and not just charging forward, I don't really have that so much. And the more I worked with Steven, the more it was like, actually, I think chief of staff is the right position for you. Head of sales was like, I think he was interested in like exploring and getting to know, but wasn't like as much his long-term goal, really. And so both of us were kind of like, let's just do this and let's move you over and officially make you my chief of staff. And eventually we will transition you out of the sales role. And it has been awesome. So the key to the chief of staff position is that it is not an executive assistant with a fancy title. So it's not just that I just like delegate things to him, but we actually pair on a lot of stuff. So like he has access to my email, he has access to my calendar, he sits in on almost all of my calls and my meetings, and we sort of pair on the things that the company needs, or like that the office of the CEO should do. Basically, it has been so good. Like, first of all, he is kind of a crazy getting things done OmniFocus savant. We spent like actually a bunch of hours just like leveling up my like OmniFocus setup and my habits, and like I just like process my inbox items with him, and like he like coaches me on like doing this well. And that has already been kind of a huge game changer. He's been forcing me to like break things down at like very small steps, like very clear things, like talking about like when you were creating next actions, try to write them so that like a very tired robotic version of yourself could perform them. And I've noticed that has led to me doing work at random times, even when I am tired. Like literally like 10:30 at night, I just like happen to glance at my list, and it's like, oh, that thing just sounds so small and easy. I can just do that right now, and knocking out a little bit of work, as opposed to what I had been doing, which is like, like shape a free trial rework. And it's like, yeah, never going to peel that off the stack. That's just always going to look intimidating.
Yeah, I saw him, it was like replying to a tweet thread or something, right? Where he was pointing out the difference between a project and a task. And like one will be very demotivational, and it's so unknown and like sounds too big to work on, so you end up procrastinating on it, versus a task where it's like actually a formed idea about something you're supposed to do, concrete, right? Which I thought was a pretty powerful distinction, because I think I write down a lot of projects, I think, when they should be formed more as tasks.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, and the project is the outcome. It's the thing you want to happen at the end of the thing. But then the task is like, what is a very small concrete step that you can take towards that? And the thing he's been stressing is like, and I've experienced this in the past, is like your brain is kind of dumb. So if you...
That's a good title.
Like if my goal were like, plan 2022, if that was an item on my to-do list, it's like, oh my God, that just sounds terrible. I'm never going to do that. But if the item on the to-do list is create a Google Doc called 2022 plan, if that's the whole to-do, like it is very easy. That sounds very easy. And you'll do that. And then you'll kind of automatically start putting some stuff in there. And you'll sort of accidentally, before you know it, be working on this much larger project. And, it's those silly brain hacks but they totally work.
Is that kind of that thing of like, if you want to build a reading habit, just read 1 page a day, right? and then you end up inevitably reading more than 1 page.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. It's totally the tiny habits kind of approach to doing things. And like also like his OmniFocus setup is crazy, and like basically he's using this tool to kind of to the max. So he's been like helping me like get my situation leveled up a bit. I have like a GTD coach / work partner. So like sometimes we've just been like hopping on Tuple calls and working separately, but just like basically like, just co-working, I guess. Sometimes we directly pair on things. A lot of the times I delegate sort of large swaths of things to him, and he sort of can independently just go tackle a larger project. It's great. I feel like my quality of work life has improved dramatically since making this change.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. And I wonder, like, what do you think the process is for finding a person like this?
I mean, I wrote a tweet that said that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And he happened to find it.
Because his background, he's technical, right? And
he is technical.
He's founded companies before, right? Or
he is a programmer. He has a education business teaching Lucky programming. Before he came to Tuple, he was running a team of success people. It's like working on like customer success. So kind of a mix of things. But yeah, I don't know where you go to look for these people, but yeah, it's great. I've been like been raving about it to Adam Wathen, and he was like, "That sounds amazing. I need that." And it's like, "Yes, you do." I've talked about this book, The Great CEO Within, that I like, and the author Matt Machari, he recommends in there that everyone all CEOs get a chief of staff, and he says now his position is that he won't coach someone unless they get a chief of staff. It's kind of great. I recommend it too. I think part of what makes it work is that we're different. We complement each other. So like I am the like, let's ship this, let's go, let's see what breaks in production. And he is like, hold on, should we maybe think about this? Should we, make sure everyone's on the same page? Should we plan a thing? It's a good counter to my sort of impulsiveness.
Right. So you don't want a carbon copy of yourself as an extension of yourself. You want to backfill. Like deficiencies or weaknesses. Yeah.
Totally. And we like appreciate and like different things. So it's like the planning things or the like a lot of the stuff that I just find like not interesting, he does find interesting. So I don't feel like bad delegating things to him that I don't want to do, because a lot of the times it's like his sort of favorite thing. That felt like a change that I feel like is going to like really unlock a lot of potential for us. I feel more optimistic about hitting the 2022 goals. As like to me, when I wrote up this like doc of like what I want to do next year, I was like, I think I need a chief of staff. I think I need Steven to help me do this. Otherwise, I don't think we'll get this done. But the pieces are falling in place. Speaking of pieces falling in place, we have an accepted offer from a designer.
Hey-o.
Yeah. Whew, that's been a journey.
Yeah. It's been
hiring sucks.
Months, right? Yeah.
Hiring is the worst.
Yeah.
Like at the end of it, you get the best thing, which is like a new awesome team member that levels up, and like it's a great adding a new person to the team. Amazing. So good. The whole process of finding that person is just so draining, and I hate it.
Yeah. Did you end up working with a recruiter at all for any of this?
Not for this. I need to try that more. If that worked well, like if this is an outsourceable thing, then man, that'd be great. And I should try that. So we're going to be hiring a Linux lead imminently. I want to experiment with that again.
Yeah. When we had that at Drip, it was so nice that we could start the search, and basically the first initial vetting part was just sort of handled by our recruiter. And then by the time we made contact, it was far less work on our end when they finally made it to us,
And this was an external recruiter you hired?
No, we had internal recruiters at Lead Pages that we inherited. Yeah. But I think there are, contract-based recruiters that you can probably find out there.
I wonder at what scale an internal recruiter makes sense.
I imagine you'd have to be like scaling at like venture-backed startup type of growth clip,
I don't know. I feel like I've been working part-time on hiring someone for the last year or so, and like that looks like it will continue.
I suspect that like they might be a little bit more efficient at the process, so it maybe wouldn't be. They would probably complete the task in a shorter amount of time, so then they'd have a lot of slack time unless you're really continuously hiring.
I want to do some more experiments with outsourcing this for sure.
Yep.
It's hard because if the CEO of something DMs you, it's different than a random recruiter.
True. Yep.
Like I've heard this from people. Like I just would never answer a recruiter's email or whatever. But like if one of the founders reached out, that's just I'll at least read it.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's obviously lots of shitty outreach out there from recruiters that you would want to steer clear of that, any of that playbook, you know. But a good recruiter won't play those games, you know.
Mm-hmm. More about this person later, but I'm very excited to have this thing done.
Yeah. Long time coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it feels like there's a lot of things that we want to do that are blocked by this. So it's like this is a pretty critical unlocking of some new capabilities.
Yeah. I am tickled that my Tuple client design has pretty much still remains mostly untouched this far removed. I think it still holds up. I like it. I mean, I know that there's a lot of design things to do that are outside of just that interface, but you know, I'm glad that it has persisted. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. 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 No, you do good work. If I could hire you, I would.
Yeah. Sorry.
Are you open to acquisition offers, acqui-hire offers?
Nope.
Okay.
Sadly, no.
All right. You don't even want to hear my number.
I don't think it'd be in the ballpark.
You saying I can't afford it?
Yeah. Basically.
Okay. Well, what's going on with you?
Let's see. I've been making progress on my Stripe integration, which is the big rock for this cycle. You know, top requested feature by far. I would say I'm like rounding the corner on it, so it should be shipped in the next week or two. Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about that. And since it's shipping soon, well, we were thinking about like doing a Black Friday promo, which we ended up doing. And kind of worked out nicely because the Stripe integration is going to be a premium plan feature. And so when we were kind of concocting this, like sort of tricky to think through doing a deal like this because I didn't want to alienate existing customers too much. So I wanted to provide something that a lot of customers could also take advantage of. I didn't want there to be a bunch of people who are like, oh man, I already paid for this thing. Now I don't get to take advantage of the promo. And so we decided to offer the premium plan, a year of the premium plan at the price of the basic plan. So it wasn't actually like, we didn't want to discount off of our lowest tier. That was kind of the goal. And then we could also say like, you know, Stripe integration, like if you want to use this feature, you can lock it in for the price of basic for the next year. That promo brought in a nice chunk of cash flow and a nice swath of new customers who had kind of been floating around on the list but hadn't activated yet. So pretty stoked about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So marketing works.
Marketing works. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then
can't wait to have a head of marketing.
Yeah. When are you going to hire that position?
You know, as soon as I get a recruiter.
Okay. Nice.
No, actually, I'm working on a job description for that today.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That and you said Linux engineer. Are those like the next two?
And a Windows engineer.
And a Windows engineer. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine more on that soon.
No, I'm sure that's the last we'll hear of it.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know, we're making big moves.
Yeah.
I'm not fooling around in 2022.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Holiday time is always a little bit chaotic. So like we went out to California, visited my family, and then my wife's family came back with us and hung out for a week here in Minneapolis. My days were a little bit disjointed during that time. So I decided I have like this project.
You decided to like get an amazing amount of work done anyway.
No, not an amazing amount. I mean, I did manage to get some stuff done, but I had this project floating around called like code quality audit. So I basically have been wanting to like do a pass through the code base and tighten things up. This is sort of in advance of like, you know, bringing on somebody to help out on the product side and wanting to make sure that like I'm establishing like really solid, consistent pattern throughout the code base. And I sort of have, you know, evolved like any code base does. Like the new code that I add in today when I'm building a new feature looks a bit different than the patterns I was using when I first started the code base. And so, you know, inconsistencies had cropped up. I had sort of not kept up my aggressive use of a linter. Elixir has this tool called Dialyzer, which does like static analysis of the type specs that you put in, and we'll check for inconsistencies. And like if you don't aggressively cache it properly, it like takes a long time to run. And I had enough issues in CI with it that at one point I just disabled it. So I wanted to get that like back enabled in the pipeline. Just a bunch of things like that. And the nice thing is those are kind of, in most part, like bite-sized refactorings that I could just kind of work on idly and fit in small gaps of time here and there. So that has felt good. There's I discovered this really nice VS Code integration with Credo, which is the linting library. As you're typing code, if you break one of the linting rules, it'll like squiggly underline it right there in front of you, which is really, really nice. So you don't have to run this process, or the build won't fail and then you have to go back and like fix the issue. It'll just surface it right there in front of you, which is really great. I love that kind of like developer productivity stuff. So
totally. It's awesome. So you tidied the house up a little bit.
Yep.
Added some safeguards.
Do you have opinions about like style guides?
I do.
Okay. I'm curious to hear what your take is on these.
My take is it's worth having consistent style in a code base. It's not worth at all debating that style. So somebody should pick a style, and it's also not worth ever commenting on a PR about style, because it should 100% be auto done. Ideally, it should just be auto implemented on save of every file. But this is my favorite part about working in Elm. It's just like there's like a blessed Elm format.
Yep.
And it's like there's no debate. It's like the way to format Elm is the way that Elm formats it. And I think that's the ideal.
Elixir has the
everything
same thing.
Beyond that is worse.
Yep.
So if I were you, I would establish an official linter that also will output the correct stuff, and that's that.
Yeah, that's where I've landed too. I sort of was looking around, like I'm on like some Elixir newsletters, and I will see blog posts from really smart, prominent people in the Elixir community saying like, these are best practices, do this, don't do this. And I was perusing some of those and like, okay, there's some good ideas in here, and I think I've broken some of these best practices, and probably I can see the reason for why this person is advocating for this thing as a best practice, and I think I want to do that too in my code base. So I thought about like just assembling a doc with like some of these best practices written down in them, but then I started exploring more deeply. I'm like, I think most of these could be implemented as linter rules, and to me that feels optimal. Like I want ideally an engineer to be able to look in most files and kind of get a sense for like the style of the code base, and this is the way we shape, features and the way we organize code at a high level. So I want there to be consistency around that, which a linter can't necessarily do. But then on like the individual, construct level, like a linter should be able to do most of that. So I think I've not yet really found anything that really warrants putting into a written doc. I think most of it I can kind of infuse into more automated processes, which I'm pretty happy about. So,
yeah, having the higher level things, I think can be worth having a style doc that describes. I think that's good. We did that at Thoughtbot. There were like high level coding recommendations, all in a separate repo, basically. Yeah, and then the linter is configured, and maybe if you want, you can open a PR to suggest a change to the linter config. If you really want to bike shed something, but hopefully you don't.
Yeah. So that's been fun. I mean, there's a therapeutic aspect to refactoring code for sure.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Yeah.
Get your house all tidy.
Yep. During Thanksgiving week, I basically didn't make a ton of progress on the Stripe integration because that requires loading a lot of state into the mental RAM, and so that felt like a good use of time during that kind of choppy time.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you still put out a nice November update.
Yeah. I love doing those because it kind of helps me to appreciate like, yeah, we're still getting a lot of stuff done. It's a good moment to take stock.
Yeah, I noticed I'm getting more done now, especially with Steven's help. I was noticing the other day, like, I still get to the end of the day and I'm like, wow, there's still a million things to do. Even though the amount I'm getting done is increasing, it sort of doesn't hit me viscerally exactly. So I feel like I need to start documenting this better, I guess. Or yeah.
Yeah. Figure out how to brain hack that.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know if it's about documenting it or just like looking at the list of completed items, or I'm not sure quite what the format is.
Right. If you're breaking tasks up into small chunks, then seeing, lists of done items, maybe that'll trigger something,
Yeah. One thing I think could help is like, I've been working kind of day to day on goals and not thinking about what my weekly goals are. If on Monday, or ideally more like Friday, the week before, I was like, okay, I want to do these 3 things next week. And then I got to the end, I was like, did I do the 3 things? I did? Okay, cool. Good week. That might help close the loop in my brain.
Yeah. Yep.
But the good news is I'm getting things done.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah. Progress.
Yeah.
All right. You good?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Notes of the show.
Notes of the show can be found at artofproductpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.